Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Louder, louder. Together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath. Jaya Radha Madhav, राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय राधा गिरिधरी राधा गिरिधरी राधे जय राधा रमन राधा रमन राधे जय राधा बंक बिहारी राधा बंक बिहारी राधे जय राधा विनोद राधा विनोद राधे जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधे जय राधा कांत राधे जय गंधर्विका गिरिधरी राधे जय राधा माधव राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय जय राधा गोपीनाथ की जय गौर निताय की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने पादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते नमस्ते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चात्पदशतारिणे नमस्ते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चात् जय जय गौड़ा चांदे आरती का शोभा जय जय गौड़ा चांदे आरती जानवी तट बने जगमन लोभा जानवी तट बने जानवी तट बने जगमन लोभा जानवी दक्षिण निताय चाँद बामे गदाधारा दक्षिण निताय चाँद गदाधारा निकटे अद्वैताश्रिणी वासो छत्रधारा निकटे अद्वैताश्रिणी वासो छत्रधारा निकटे अद्वैताश्रिणी वासो छत्रधारा বসিয়াছেন গড়াচাঁদ রত্ন সিংহাসনে বসিয়াছেন গড়াচাঁদ রত্ন সিংহাসনে आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गाने आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा नरो हरि आदि कोरी चामार दोलाया नरो संजय मुकुंद बासु घोषादि गाया सञ्जय मुकुन्द वासु घोषादिगाय शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला शंख बाजे मधुरा मृदंग बाजे परमरशाला मधुरा मधुरा मृदंग बाजे परमरशाला मधुरा शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे गोडंगेडा रसिड माझे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे शंख बाजे गोडांगेडा रसिड माझे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बहु कटी चंद्राजिनी बदन उजाला बहु कटी चंद्राजिनी गला देश बना मला करे झलमाला गला देश शिवा शुका नारदा प्रेमे गदगादा शिवा शुका भाकती विनोदा देखे गोडार संपादा भक्ति ठाकुर भक्ति विनोदा देखे गोडार संपादा गौरांगेरा रतिक शोभा जगत जनमान लोभा अब राधा गोपीनाथ रति शोभा जगत जनमान लोभा गौरांगेरा रति शोभा जगत जना मन लोभा अमर गौरांगेरा रतिर शोभा जग जन मन लोभा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु बोलो हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे बोलो बोलो प्रेम से हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, प्रह्लाद लाददायिने, हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः, शिलाटङ्कनखलाये, इतो नृसिंह परतो नृसिंह, इतो नृसिंह परतो नृसिंह, जतो जत जामि ततो नृसिंह, जतो जत जामि ततो नृसिंह, बहे नृसिंह हृदये नृसिंह, बहे नृसिंह हृदये नृसिंह, नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे, नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे, तवोकरकमलभरे नखा अद्भुतशृङ्गार, दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा, केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, तव करकमलव रेणखा अद्भुतशृङ्गार, ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा, नरहरिरूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय नृसिंहदेव नृसिंहदेव नृसिंहदेव, जय नृसिंहदेव नृसिंहदेव नृसिंहदेव, विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक श्रेष्ठ मशला अष्टोत्तर शत ऐसे भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय सरस्वती ठाकुर की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय शर गोस्वामी की जय गंगा माई की जय भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की जय राधा माधव अष्टसखी गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय राधा गोपीनाथ की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय गौर निताई की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय दामोदर मांत की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembly devotee. All glories to assembly devotee. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Shri Mate Bhakti Namaste Shri Nabadi Paschat.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the ISKCON Toronto Sunday Feast. We're so happy that you were able to make it today. If everyone can please have a seat as we're starting the next segment of the program. Thank you. And then also please move forward. So just some housekeeping. Please note that the washrooms are located downstairs on the lower level. Any children who are under the age of 12 must be supervised by a parent. And if you would like to make a donation, you can go and visit the front desk. Thank you. So, as many of you may know, yesterday was the disappearance day of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Charya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And it was his 48th disappearance day. So we're going to be just playing a video for you first, and then we're going to have a wonderful class by Her Grace Praharna Devi Dasi. So please turn your heads over to the screen. Thank you. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So we're now going to have Her Grace Mother Praharna come and do a discourse on Srila Prabhupada. And I'm going to just give a quick introduction about how wonderful she is. Praharna Prabhu was initiated by Srila Prabhupada on Radhastami here in Toronto in 1972 and has served for many years as a Pujari, Sankirtan devotee, and one of the temple administrators. From her marriage in 1976, she has 3 children, Abhay Charan, a businessman, Ramuna, a hospital administrator, and Krishna Keli, an attorney. In 1988, she faced the challenge of being a single parent and was inspired to return to university, earned a master's degree in social work. Employed as a clinical social worker for over 20 years, she recently retired, though it seems she is busier than ever. She has a strong interest in seeing that devotees and families in Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON are healthy and cared for. To this end, she has served in several capacities, including mentoring young leaders on the Toronto Temple Council, assisting with the management of Govinda's restaurant in Toronto, advocating for those who are experiencing pastoral abuse, working with the Grihastha Vision team, as well as being a regional secretary for Canada on the North American GBC Executive and the Canadian National Council. Let's give a big warm welcome to Her Grace Praharna Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it works. Thank you. Jaya Raja Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balaba Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavari Pasyatade Zatarine Jaya Prabhupada 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 Hare Krishna. So it's my pleasure to speak to you today. Last night we had Srila Prabhupada's Disappearance Day event here in the temple. And it was very nice. It's always a bittersweet kind of a program because, you know, it was one of the most traumatic days of my life when he left. But at the same time, if I hadn't been so wrapped up in my own needs, I would have understood that he's gone to Krishna, gone back to Godhead. But you know, when you're in your 20s and you're totally devoted to Prabhupada day and night, it's like, how could he possibly leave? How is that possible? He'd been ill for some time, and every time he went into kind of a crisis, we would have a 24-hour kirtan. So we, you know, in those days, there were no computers, communications were terrible. So we'd generally get a call from India where Prabhupada was. And they'd say, Prabhupada's not doing well, we need 24-hour kirtan in every temple in the world. And those calls were, you know, from India were the ones where you'd hear the temple president on the phone yelling because you had to yell if you were talking to India. I was like, what's that, Prabhu? You know, it was like so crazy. Anyway, we used to do 24-hour kirtans. We'd be up all night, we'd be up all day, we'd just be chanting so sincerely, and somehow Prabhupada would get better or improve. So we just thought, oh, just keep doing this forever, we'll be fine. So when he did actually go into more of a decline and leave us eventually, we found it really, really hard to believe because we'd been completely absorbed in serving him, and we loved him dearly. He'd been like our father, our teacher, everything. And it just seemed like the idea of living in this world without him was inconceivable. Even though we didn't realize at the time he didn't really leave us, because, you know, that's why he produced all those books, all those tapes, all those videos, so that, and he's in our heart, always. You can pray to Srila Prabhupada anytime. So, at any rate, so when I thought yesterday about that day, yeah, it was kind of bittersweet. Maharaj and Krishnadas and I were all speaking last night, and we were all saying, yeah, it was a really tough day, but it's one that you'll never forget. I had a new baby, 2 weeks old. So, you know, when I got to the temple, I was living down the road. We rented houses in the area for devotees who had children, and each family had one room. And we shared bathroom, kitchen, everything, and we were like family. Anyway, I came, it was down DuPont Street, I walked here with my baby. And the whole temple was like in, I don't know how even, it was like everyone was completely paralyzed. Everyone was just sitting in different corners crying. Nobody could speak. Nobody could do anything. It's like, we were so shocked. Anyway, you know, things like that happen in your life, and you have to learn and grow from them. And this one's one of the biggest, of course, he being our guru, who had changed our life completely, all of us. You can imagine, none of us had ever heard of Krishna. I'd never heard of that in my life until I heard the Beatles song, George Harrison's song, My Sweet Lord. I'd never heard the word Krishna in my life. Most of us hadn't. I didn't know anything about Bhagavad Gita. I didn't know anything about the Vedas. I'd heard of yoga, but I don't think that's really yoga, what they were doing, the exercises. So, here I was at university. I was studying science, and I got a Sri Ishopanishad. They came for an evening program to my university in London. They said, come for dinner. We're having free dinner. I was sitting on the hill at Western. I was looking around, and I thought, they look so weird. I don't think I'm going to go. Even though I was trying to be vegetarian at the time, it had occurred to me that it was a nice thing to do. So anyway, later on in the day, I did get hungry, and I went. And I bought a Sri Ishopanishad for like $0.25. I was studying science. And I was also studying religion. I'd been going to all these religious groups at the university, trying to find something that meant something. Now, I was brought up a Presbyterian. I'm Scottish. Presbyterian church is Protestant. It's very bare bones. It's very, it's austere, but it's not fancy. There's not, I just couldn't feel really engaged with it ever in my life. Even though I talked to my minister, I went to Sunday school, but something was missing. I always felt that my whole life. Then I got this Sri Ishopanishad, and a light came on. The first few slokas for a science student made total sense. Everything's a balance. Krishna owns everything. It's like, you just read those few slokas. It puts everything into a universal sense of knowledge and sense. So then I got Bhagavad Gita. I started reading that. There was a little blue one in those days, tiny little blue one, no Sanskrit in it. And then I bought a box of incense, and on the back of it was the Maha Mantra. So I started chanting. And then weird things were happening. I had this radio that would wake me up in the morning. And for some reason, many days in a row, I would wake up with my alarm, and the radio would pop on, and it would be Yamuna singing Govinda Mari Purusham. And I'd be like, holy moly, what's going on here? Anyway, the devotees came again to the university, and I spent more time with them, and then they persuaded me, come down for March break, just see what it's like. So I thought, I got in the truck, I came. And I spent a week here, and then I went back. I finished my degree, and then I moved into the temple. My parents were not happy, but anyway, that's what happened. So then your life totally changes. You move into an ashram where the whole focus is about Krishna. There's nothing but Krishna, nothing but Prabhupada. We listened to every tape we got in the mail. We devoured them. We listened to them 1,000,000 times. We chanted all the rounds in the morning thinking of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was everything. Whatever he asked us to do, we did. We wanted to. We wanted to please him. And he was the most wonderful guru. We all had a unique relationship with him because we all knew what we needed to do to try and be more Krishna conscious, and he facilitated that. Srila Prabhupada, he was traveling all over the world, even though he was older. He would stay in one place a couple of days, and then he'd go somewhere else a couple of days. I'm older, and I don't know how he did that. That is so hard on you, especially in those days when air travel was a lot less comfortable and a lot longer. Anyway, he would come, he would just be translating the books all night, helping us all day. I don't know how he did it. But he was just full of compassion and love for us. He just wanted to help us. You could feel it. And I just want to encourage you all that, he hasn't been here for 48 years. And I feel that I'm in a privileged position, having been there in that time. Like, that was really special. And thank you, Krishna, for that. But he's still our preeminent guru. He's still ISKCON's topmost person, teacher. He is still in charge. He is who you should be trying to have your spiritual relationship with. And your guru, if you have one, should facilitate that. That's really, really important. It's like the parampara, coming down for so many thousands of years. The parampara has been just Vaishnav culture, just coming down, and each guru teaches the next exactly the same thing that they learned. Nothing changes. That's the beauty of it. So nobody concocts anything, takes advantage of anyone, tries to change anything for their own benefit. It's just exactly the same thing. So Prabhupada taught us exactly what he learned from Bhaktisiddhanta, who learned it from Bhaktivinoda, and on and on. And your gurus learned exactly from Prabhupada and are teaching you exactly what he taught. And it's all in his books. There's no concern that there'll be deviation. It's all there. So anyway, Krishna set up this system in order to deliver us from the material world, which is a place where we're trapped because we are attached. We're attached. We've been here for lifetimes. Somehow we think it's better than going back to Godhead to be here with all the problems and miseries. Believe me, I worked in a hospital for about 28 years. It's a lot of misery. You look at so many things in the world, earthquakes, tsunamis, wars, so many things. All you can do is take shelter of God. You have to get unattached. You have to become attached to spiritual life, to Krishna, to thinking differently. And that's what the Guru gives you, that knowledge, so you can do that. So, everybody is encouraged in ISKCON to cultivate that personal relationship with Srila Prabhupada through his books, his teachings, and through ISKCON, because this is him. ISKCON is him. That's his body. Prabhupada wrote a lot about being a guru, and he talked a lot about cheating gurus. There were others that came to North America at that time from Eastern countries trying to be gurus. They wanted, a lot of it was money, women, whatever. And they would say, don't worry, I'll give you a mantra. You don't have to give up anything. You just chant my mantra, give me money, you're liberated. There were a lot of these kind of people, but Srila Prabhupada never compromised. Even dealing with hippies like me, who had crazy habits and didn't know anything. And he would not compromise. He'd say, no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating. You just have to give up all these things. You have to be pure. You have to serve purely and chant. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to make advancement. And that's the bottom line. So we just, yes, Prabhupada, sounds good. Yeah, and it's like Prabhupada would talk about his guru, and he would talk about how much he helped him and how much he owed to his guru all the time. Like Om Ankinatamanandasya Jananjanan Sulakaya Chakshur Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance. And my guru, my spiritual master, opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. We say this every day. It's just what you have to do. You have to change your consciousness. Not that you give up all the things that you need to do in life, taking care of your family, doing your job and all that. You just make it Krishna conscious. I know when I was working in the hospital, I worked in neurosurgery, and there was a saying in neurosurgery that a good result is that the person goes to heaven. It was pretty dismal sometimes, although they did miracles as well. But I used to think of myself in a bubble, just this spiritual bubble. And I'd float around the hospital, talking to families and to staff and different people. And I always felt like I could engage with them, keeping the misery over there, because I had Prabhupada. I felt it. So you have to cultivate this kind of thing, so that your life can become more spiritual. Not saying that I'm any kind of great devotee, but I took advantage of some of the teachings to give myself some help in the world. So how is Prabhupada different? Like, there's so many gurus came. How is he different? He was really different. Remember when he came in 1965, like you saw in that little video, with absolutely nothing. He had I think it was $40 or 40 rupees in his pocket, nothing. He had a couple of books, and he had a heart attack on the ship. And he just prayed to Krishna, please let me continue, I haven't done my mission. And he came and he walked into New York City, into the Bowery, into the worst area. He even had his typewriter stolen, nobody was helping him. He just went to the park, sat down, started chanting, and people came. And slowly they helped him. They rented a storefront. He started holding daily classes and teaching them how to cook and teaching them how to take care of themselves and how to think differently. I mean, I don't know any other guru that would come and go through that kind of austerity and deal with those kind of people. The people in the Bowery, they were taking a lot of drugs. They were really in bad shape. Most of the gurus who came, they'd go for the intellectuals or they'd go for the wealthy people and try to capitalize on whatever they could get out of those people. But Prabhupada went right to where Krishna sent him. And slowly he built up a really amazing group, because those people who came were really, really looking for something. They were looking for spiritual life. They wanted to find meaning. And he was so kind and engaging that he just was able to make them stop all their nonsense, all their intoxication, meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, everything at once. And to start chanting Maha Mantra 16 rounds a day. That's 2 hours. And he built up an amazing group of devotees who then spread out eventually all over the entire world. In 12 years. In 12 years. Even when Prabhupada left, there were 100 temples, restaurants, farms, schools. So fast. And these were not, he wasn't preaching to wealthy people who could make things happen. Oh no, it wasn't like that. He only presented his own ideas. I mean, the parampara ideas. No deviations. No things that might feel more comfortable to people. Like, oh, you can eat meat. Just chant my mantra. He never did that. Always uncompromising. He focused on the personal nature of God rather than the impersonal Brahman. That was very unusual. That's Vaishnavism, of course. But most of the gurus who came were looking at impersonalism because it's easier to swallow. You don't have to do much. You are one with the whole. You're just a drop of water in the ocean. What can you do? But with the personal aspect of God, of course, you have lots of work to do. You need to develop your relationships that are rightfully yours and that Krishna wants you to do. He did not emphasize demigod worship because demigod worship is all about material gain. And we don't want that. We're not looking for more money. We're not looking for all the things that the demigods can give you. And they can, but no, that's not our focus at all. Just Krishna. We respect the demigods, but we don't worship them. He was totally emphasizing the scriptural availability. Most gurus never did that. They would only give the scriptures to a few people. Oh, thanks. But Prabhupada, he translated day and night so that he could give us the scriptures as they are, not all deviation full of crazy stuff. No, totally pure. And his mission was to spread Krishna consciousness everywhere, not just to come to New York and find a few male disciples, preferably of Indian descent, easier. No, he went everywhere and spoke to everyone, even places that were deemed to be impossible, like Russia, China. He went there. He made disciples. Those disciples fought so hard to spread Krishna consciousness, spent time in jail, some even died. It was rough. But now there's thriving communities in Russia, huge communities. Kyiv, where the war is going on, my friend is there and she sends me videos of the Sunday feast. There's like 1,200 people there, all dancing, blissful. They're all Ukrainians. Yeah, so Prabhupada went absolutely everywhere. He sent his disciples everywhere. When devotees would get married, he would say to them, oh, okay, so now you and your wife, you can go to this city and open a temple. Or go to that city. They just send them out. Like, keep going, make more, make more. He believed in unity in diversity. Keep the basics of the philosophy, totally. Don't change anything, but the diversity is important when you're dealing with so many cultures, languages, you know. He didn't tell his devotees in the Middle East, you must wear saris and dhotis. It's insane. He was able to see where compromise was necessary in order to spread Krishna consciousness. And not only that, he was able to take his devotees after a few years to India, where he had tried many times to establish Vaishnavism. He had traveled around and it wasn't being taken. That people had their own ideas of what was right, what was wrong. They didn't accept him as any kind of authority. He called them his dancing white elephants. Took them to India. They would go down the streets in Vrindavan doing Harinam, chanting, all blissful. Everybody would be like, what is this? And then all of us back here in these cities, we'd be out collecting Lakshmi to buy the land in Juhu, to buy the Vrindavan temple. We raised that money, we built those temples. It came from here. I know it because I can't even feel my fingers anymore from the cold, so much cold. Yeah. So then in India, of course, they started to then understand. And I know that it was Krishna's plan the whole time. So now India is very strong. Many, many temples, very strongly Prabhupada-centered. So it's amazing. Prabhupada changed the world. Honestly, he did. There's no place in the world you can go where you can't find some connection to Krishna consciousness. Even in places like Saudi Arabia, places like that. I know the people who go there to preach. They have groups there. China, they rent halls and say it's for a birthday party. And they have a big birthday party that's actually a Sunday feast. The authorities don't seem to get it. It's great. So they have their kirtan and their prasadam and their class, and it's a birthday. And there are thousands of devotees in China. It's wonderful. It's unbelievable. Who else has done such a thing? And it's carried on because we've continued to follow Prabhupada's instructions without deviation. There have been some people who deviated, but they, if we're not corrected, we're told to leave. And they go do their own thing. Fine. So I just wanted to, I don't know how much time, maybe 10 minutes I've got. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what Prabhupada did directly in Toronto. He came in 1975. We were living on Gerrard Street in this little house. It was packed. And it was a really terrible neighborhood. When he came, we had to put plywood in the windows because we were afraid someone would throw a beer bottle through and hurt him. It was a really bad neighborhood. It's improved now, but it's still got a lot of men's shelters. I think that's the problem. Anyway, he said, okay, time to get a temple. And we were like, whoa, okay. Because we didn't have money. How are we going to do this? And there were no congregations like you. Indian immigration hadn't opened up yet. There was hardly anyone. There was Subhuti, who taught us how to cook, thank God. Because before that, what we were cooking was pretty rough. She was great. And then, there was Yash Madan and his wife. They came quite often. Subal Vilas and Ashalata, and they brought all their kids, and Preeti and Prabhupada Sharma, and so many devotees started coming, but there still wasn't a big group like this that could help support our efforts. Sometimes when we'd get a bag of rice donated, it was like, oh my gosh, Krishna heard our prayers. It was tight. Anyway, he said, okay, we got to do this. So we started looking for a temple. We found a number of places, and then we found this place. It was going pretty cheaply because churches are hard to sell. I think it was 450,000. But in 1975, of course, that was like 20 million. But anyway, we're like, 450,000, how the heck? So anyway, we went into hard drive. All of us out every morning on the street. We had cans, like, empty tomato juice cans. And we just sell back to Godheads for 25 cents, sell flowers. Bhakti Marg Swami was up in Northern Ontario selling paintings. We did just this heavy campaign to raise money. And we found this place. We got a loan from the BBT, which really helped. And some of our Indian devotees were able to talk to the bank about mortgages, things like that. I didn't have a bank account. I couldn't talk to them about anything. So we needed that help. Anyway, we made the offer, and the church said, we will never sell to you. You people are heathen demons. And then Prabhupada said, tell them we'll put Jesus on the altar. And having been a Christian, I thought, oh no, don't say that, don't say that. Anyway, we lost the offer. They sold to somebody else. But those people defaulted, and it went to the bank. And the bank sold it to us. So Krishna made the arrangement, and we got this place. Then Prabhupada came to visit. That was when we were just changing everything. This place was full of pews. There was a big altar up there with a bathing tub for baptisms and choirs, stalls, and all this. Looked totally different. We had to renovate this entire place. Prabhupada was very happy with it. But we were still kind of like, oh. And he said, there must be anxiety. You must keep working very hard. This is very important. And we just went, yes, Srila Prabhupada, that's all we're going to do. I was up in the room upstairs where Bhakti Marg Swami's office is now, Prabhupada's office. And Prabhupada was speaking to a number of people, and I was just sitting by the wall listening. And there were a number of Indian folks there who immigrated to Canada. Because that's when they all started coming, around 76, 77, and a lot of people came. And Prabhupada said to them, your job now is to help these devotees. They have done so much. Now you must step in and help them. And it's funny because then it just started to blossom. On Sundays, so many would come. All of a sudden, we had help. And we had more devotees. And we had bigger kirtans and everything changed. It was amazing. So, yeah, we got this church. We worked very hard to fix it up. We paid off the mortgage in time, which was a miracle. And now we are able to generate enough income that we are helping other temples to get started. Winnipeg, we gave a loan to Halifax. They bought buildings. They will pay back ISKCON Toronto, but it's getting them going. And other temples as well, we want to help. There are so many temples across Canada now, and so many devotees. It's amazing. So Prabhupada was the inspiration for all of it. And he still is. So we can't forget that. You may be, and I know how it feels to have a guru and to be absorbed in your guru. I know how that feels. But never forget, your guru is a product of Srila Prabhupada. He made your guru. He's the one that inspired and taught and nursed your guru into what he is. And your guru owes everything to Srila Prabhupada. So please never forget that. We need to keep Prabhupada front and center always. And we need to try to cultivate your own relationship with Prabhupada. Read his books. Think about what he might want you to do. Pray to him. Talk to him. It's okay. I do that. It's nice. You can feel the support, and you will. So, anyway, yeah, another year gone by, 48 years since he left, but it's okay because, he's not really gone, and he's always our well-wisher, always our father, all of us. And we just have to cultivate that, always hold on to his lotus feet, and always just really pray to him to help us to stay strong, to not become bewildered, and to be able to fulfill our mission, to become devotees of Krishna, to give up material life and to go back to Godhead. Anyway, any questions about the old times? Anything you've always wondered? Yes? What did she say? Oh. How much time do I have? Done? Okay. I did have one amazing exchange, and I'll say it quickly. I was doing arti at Gerrard Street. Everyone was out on morning walk. It was the 7 o'clock arti. Prabhupada walked in ahead of everyone else because he got out of the car. The other devotees were just coming. He walked in, we were alone. He walked up in front of the altar. He paid his dandabats to Radhakirtra Gopinath. And I thought, oh my gosh, Radhakirtra Gopinath are telling him, who is this young woman driving me crazy, dressing me so bad, no devotion, what the heck is going on here? I figured it was really bad news. Anyway, I was like, oh. Anyway, he got up, he went to the Vyasasana, the room filled with people, and later in the day, Bibi Govinda Swami, who was my dear brother at the time, he still is, he came up to me and said, Praharna, Prabhupada told me, tell that young Pujari girl to get a bigger bell. So I went to Chinatown, because there was no Little India much, and I bought a great big bell, and the next morning it was dong, 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 instead of tinkle, tinkle. And see, Prabhupada read my mind. He knew I was like freaking out, and he wanted to give me something I could do to make me feel better, but also it was like a pat on the head. It was really nice, really personal. Yeah.
Hey. Let's give a big warm round of applause for that wonderful and very sweet lecture about Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mother Praharna.
You're welcome.
So we just have a few more announcements before we go into the next segment, which is Prashadam, which is, I'm sure, your favorite time. So we're currently in the month of Kartik, or Damodar month, which started on Tuesday, October 7th, and continues until Wednesday, November 5th. And so during the month of Kartik, you can join us every morning at 7 a.m. to offer lamps to Lord Damodar. And you'll actually be provided the lamps, so you don't even need to bring anything from home, just yourself, and you can offer the lamps. We do not offer any lamps during the evenings, just for safety reasons. We'd also like to inform you that Gopastami will be observed on October 29th, so this Wednesday. However, there will not be a formal festival happening at the temple, but you can still come. We'll be observing fasting for Uttana Ekadasi this Saturday, November 1st, and break fast the next day between 6:55 a.m. and 10:19 a.m. in the morning. We're also very excited to announce that Gita Jayanti, which is the anniversary of the advent of the Bhagavad Gita. How many of you have read the Bhagavad Gita or have the Bhagavad Gita at home? Wonderful. So for those of you who don't yet, you can actually go out to the front book table and grab a copy, or if your friend doesn't have one, grab a copy for them. So that will be celebrated on Monday, December 1st, and more details will be announced in the upcoming weeks. Also, for children between the ages of 3 and 18 years, there is an annual Gita contest, which is happening on December 7th. And for more details, you can go out to the bulletin board out in the hallway, and you can sign up, seeing the email address on the flyer. For darshan timings, upcoming events, and festival details, please visit our temple website at torontokrishna.com. And then for today's cooks, we're going to offer our heartfelt thanks to today's cooks, Bava Malini Mataji and her dedicated team. Let's give a big round of applause. So today we have 2 Sunday Feast sponsors. The first sponsor is Hima Verma and her family. And the second sponsor is Atashi Saha and her family, who are seeking blessings from Lord Damodar. So let's all chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times to invoke the blessings of Shri Shri Radhakirtara Gopinath. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you would like to sponsor a Sunday feast or the garlands or any festivals, you can go approach a devotee at the front desk. And so just an important note, the doors will be opening at 8 o'clock for the Sayan Arti, and then we'll also be singing Damodar Astakam, which is the prayer that we chant during Kartik month. And so once the altar doors open, please take your prashadam outside and don't eat in the temple room. Also, there's a specific area for throwing your leftovers, so don't throw it into the leftover bin, but there's a devotee who will help you with the organics and organizing your plates. So now, thank you for your cooperation. Hare Krishna, and it's Prashadam time. Hare Krishna.